Well, hello, my name is Kim Tsoukalas, franchise owner of Network in Action Twin Cities. I have a member with me today. His name is Paul Childers with Blue Sky Business Solutions. Hi, Paul.
Hi, Kim. Thanks for having me.
Excited to share with our viewers a little bit about what you do. It's very unique. And let's start out by describing the core services or products that you offer and what sets you apart from other people in the market.
Yeah, the core services I offer is business credit consulting and coaching, which is helping business owners understand the difference between personal credit, banking credit, and actual business credit so that they can protect their assets and help them understand when it is applicable to lend with only your business EIN and when you have to use your personal credit and make just smarter financial decisions that don't put personal assets and your house, graduation, cars, all that stuff at risk.
That's amazing. I would love you to share with everyone about your professional journey and what your experiences have done that shapes the way you run your business.
Yeah, so spent a lot of time in automotive where I worked with a lot of variety of different business owners, getting them loans for their vehicles. And that was my first exposure to business credit world when I had a company that came in and they got approved for a commercial line through GM with only their EIN number. And not too long after that, I had another company come in that was almost identical that didn't get approved for the same thing. And I just started asking questions of why are there two separate worlds that exist for businesses? Why is one business able to get in and do this without putting their personal, credit, personal assets, all that stuff at risk? And why is the other one not able to do that? And so just kind of learning that and educating business owners through that time frame on those things and helping them get attached to it. And then also my time spent with growing a startup company and being part of growth, traction, understanding our profit loss numbers. It put me in a really unique position to be able to combine these two worlds together to help business owners really understand why numbers are important with their business and why making financing decisions off of emotions and thoughts is not a healthy place to be as an owner.
I'm going to throw in this question for you because I think it's important. Can you share with me like a horror story of what has happened to a business when they didn't take advantage or or were educated on what you do?
Yeah, some of the continuous horror stories that I always come across are actually people that aren't even business owners any longer.
Hmm?
One of the very first people that I ever met was a gal that's within BNI, and she owned some businesses prior to '08, and they went through the recession, and it hit them very hard. They were personally guaranteed and over leveraged on their personal finances and personal credit in their business, and they ended up losing just about everything that you could imagine when that all collapsed. And they're still paying today, almost 18 years later, for that business that's no longer in existence anymore. And I have numerous experiences and conversations with people that have had that as well. I have a old coworker that I worked with that they owned a Sears store, and that was back in the 80s, and they are still paying for that store, and it's been out of existence since the late 80s, early 90s, because they were so tied to it with personally.
It's like a double whammy. I mean, not only have they lost everything personally, but they don't even have the income coming in, and they have the risk. It's like actually a triple whammy.
Yeah.
I talk to a lot of business professionals and owners, and I have never run across anyone that does what you do. So I think it's really, really important that people are educated on how to protect themselves. I would love you to share a little bit about what your future aspirations are.
Yeah. Future wise, for me, it's growing this business out and helping as many, business owners as I can understand the risks that are associated with personally guaranteeing and understanding where we need to mitigate those and where we need to, sometimes need to leverage it, but do it in a way that you're still protected.
Mhm.
And just kind of grow that out into courses for, standard operating procedures or best practice procedures for new businesses and business owner guides that are coming up. I would love to get involved with different associations across the state and US and just educate on this as here, when somebody opens up XYZ type of company, your industry, these are the types of things that we should be giving them, and let them have kind of a step-by-step process of, here's how you're going to build this, and here's how you mitigate as much personal risk to yourself. Here's how you pay yourself consistently out of this. Here's how you structure it. Here's how you do this and this and this, right? Because that kind of stuff doesn't exist. I always say kind of like business basics 101 is kind of a non-existent thing out there right now.
Well, people, you know, a lot of people become business owners. But you know, you may be really good at what you do, but there are so many layers to businesses. You need to be better at what you need, but at what you do, you really need to know how to run a business. And that's a whole different level of skill set. So the world needs people like you to keep us informed and on track and protected. Before we sign off, I'd like you to share with our viewers a little bit about who your clients are typically.
Yeah. As far as like actual clients go, anybody that is working in home services, manufacturing, brick and mortar stores, they have inventory, they've got vehicles, they've got equipment, they've got a lot of overhead capital expenses into their business. So HVAC, plumbing, heating, industrial, manufacturing, trucking, moving, stuff like that. But anybody that really wants to just separate out their personal and their like business is a potential client for me. Referral partners, CPAs, commercial lenders, business brokers, commercial insurance agents as well.
Awesome. Well, I highly recommend, Paul, and you know, you come so highly recommended. You are so influential. You're so smart. You're so good at what you do. And I am honored to have someone like you in our NIA community. I want to thank you so much for being a valued member. And I really encourage people to reach out and connect him with these people. And you'll be a hero in everyone's eyes because you're protecting their business, which is our dreams. We put so much of our blood, sweat, and tears into our business. And then we need to make sure our families are protected and our personal assets as well. What is the best way to reach you?
Best way to reach me is usually by email, which is paul@blueskybizsolutions.com. Or if you just reach out to me on Facebook or LinkedIn, it's just Paul Childers.
Thank you again, Paul. We really appreciate you. Contact Paul today for a one-to-one and to get more information.